So geoarchaeology is really just a fancy term for leveraging earth science techniques to answer questions about the human past. Traditionally, archaeology has been slightly too focused on just the material culture. As a society, we're really starting to ask a lot more questions about climate, about environment, and about our role in those large natural systems. Geoarchaeology and environmental archaeology is a way of telling those stories about the deep past and linking them to our future and our present. Sometimes that is reconstructing an ancient environment that people lived in and around and interacted with. Sometimes that's actually looking at the specifics of an archaeological site and seeing the geochemical signatures resultant from past people's activities. So we're out here in the beautiful Plenty River Gorge lands on Wurundjeri country. This is a place I've done a little bit of work in the past, and we're actually standing in a Pleistocene river channel. So if we're doing a research project in a landscape, what I like to look for is places where sediment falls down to rather than gets removed from. So all archaeology, almost all archaeology, is buried subsurface. What geoarchaeology allows us to do is to try and figure out what's happened since that archaeological site was actually deposited. So what are the processes that have changed, altered that archaeological material? And how can we then use that information to reverse engineer what was actually happening in the deep past? So Extent Heritage is one of the very few archaeological consultancies in the world that actually has in-house geoarchaeology specialism. As we move forward and as we continue to develop, we need to do it in as ethical a way as possible. So one of the great things about having a geoarchaeology specialist in-house is that from the very beginnings of a project, we can, through consultation with traditional owners and other stakeholders, figure out exactly what research questions are important to people, design methodologies to actually answer those questions, and then deliver really good outputs for all of those stakeholders. So once we've actually gone through our excavations, we can bring back the samples that we've taken to this lab where we can do soil micromorphology, geochemistry. We can also do paleo-environmental work. Having a geoarchaeology lab run in conjunction with the conservation lab here at Extent actually offers some really good synergies, because a lot of the geochemistry work that I'm able to provide helps give really important context to best practice for our conservator and for the future management of those artifacts. Ultimately, cultural heritage management does not stop after the excavation. It's a continued curation and a continued care for these objects, but also for these landscapes and environments.